Hi, Dr. Elizabeth. Thank you very much for taking the opportunity to attend to my interview. So, as spoken earlier, my professor wants me and my team to ask real life team managers about a couple of questions on how team is being handled. So I do appreciate your time. I'm going to try and be fast in this interview. We have about 10 questions, and then we'll try and see how I can make it fast so I don't take much of your time. But I do really appreciate your time in participating in this interview section.
It's a pleasure, Linda. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. So our first question is, in your opinion, what factors do you believe have the biggest impact on your team satisfaction and overall performance?
Okay. In my opinion, I would say I strongly believe that the biggest factor that impacts my team satisfaction and performance will be first effective communication. There has to be effective communication whereby you recognize recognition of efforts either by verbal recommendations or verbal feedback, but then also a sense of purpose in the work we do, which means when you communicate effectively, clear and open communication will foster team members feeling they are valued and they are included in decision making. Okay, when you communicate clear, when you communicate to the team members clearly and it's understood, the goal is understood, of course everyone will feel valued and inputs will be shared, right? They'll feel the decision making process is kind of is open. Everybody has the opportunity to contribute, right? Feel valued that whatever I share is recognized.
That's interesting. Thank you. So our second question would be, can you describe a time where a team member exceeded expectation? What do you think drove the performance of such a person?
Okay. The most recent was where one of my team members recently led a project. That's not only, this team member didn't only meet the client's expectations significantly, like it was a very significant success. So her performance was driven by intrinsic motivation. She was motivated, especially because of her passion for the project. She had the desire to make sure that she impacted positively in this particular project. And then additionally, the support she got from all the team members, she had the encouragement and the initiative to share ideas, which contributed significantly to the success of the project.
I see.
So it was really a huge one for us.
I see. So was it like something that she really liked? The project is something that she has a personal interest in? Do you think that could have led to it?
Yes, it's a project she had a personal interest in, and to her, she's trying to conduct a research on this particular project. So she actually hoped to take it as one of her courses.
Interesting. That makes a lot of sense now. I understand. So now this will be moving on to the third question. How do you ensure that your team feels that their contributions are directly connected to the meaningful outcome of the team's success, just like the one that just completed now? How do you make them feel that way?
Oh, to ensure that they feel that their contribution matters, first we do constant check-in. We conduct regular check-ins to discuss one-on-one. We dialogue with team members to see how individual efforts of each team members are impacting other team members, right? For instance, one particular team member is lagging somewhere and you need a little bit of help sometimes. So from the other team member who's already ahead, by the time you dialogue with this particular team member, you get to find out, okay, there are some aspects there where tiny helps or a little bit of help will enhance productivity. So we just come together. That's why it's a team, right? Team means team effort when someone is like, of course. So we conduct regular check-ins by understanding that the ultimate purpose for every team is the goal of the company. to achieve the company's mission, right? So we provide opportunities for members to share insights, share their feedbacks during discussions, and make them feel there's a stronger connection in the outcome.
Thank you. That's very interesting. So for the fourth question we have you ever noticed a change in your team dynamics when certain members get recognized or get rewarded? What impact did that created in the individual that got recognized in the team?
I'll tell you something, Linda. When a certain member or when a particular group of team members receive recognition, guess what it does? It boosts the morale of the overall team.
Agree.
Everyone, yeah. The morale, for instance, when a colleague receives an award for their initiative or approach, then it inspires others. It highly inspires others. Okay, if that means our work or our efforts are not going unrecognized, right? So I want to contribute my part. I want to make meaningful impact. I want to contribute to this growth. I want to see, most times, not exactly, but the truth is, I tell you, for team members that are passionate about their job, it's oftentimes not for the recognition. It is for the sole purpose of appreciation that, I don't even need to get that recognition, but I'm appreciated that my effort works.
Right.
I had one team member that said, my job gives me satisfaction. Seeing the joy I put on my manager's face that we accomplished a particular project, I feel satisfied. Now that is passion. That is love for what you do.
I agree.
Right? That's professional satisfaction. Like, I am happy with what I am doing. I am okay. I'm glad I'm here. Right. If you're happy with what you're doing, you want to give it all your best, irrespective of whatever comes out of it, like benefits or anything. Then the benefits is extra, which means, for this little I did, I will do more.
Right.
The morale becomes boosted to do more. That is, for me, that's a very strong one. The day you mentioned it, I was so impressed.
I completely agree with that. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah. So on the fifth question we have on the list, what do you think help team members feel comfortable sharing new ideas or admitting to mistakes?
Okay. Firstly, I want to tell you something. It is not so easy for any individual to come up and tell you, boss, please, I've made a mistake, and it helps to fix it. This person or an individual or a team member needs to feel that there's a culture of psychological safety.
Right.
This is very essential for a team. Yes, it fosters, and first of all, for me, I try to foster an environment where my team members know that their voices are heard. Really, your voice is heard, because without you, there is no team. Without your team, there is no job. Without your team, there is no project. Right. All right. So I ensure that they understand that in my team, I ensure that the environment is safe. You're psychologically safe with anything. Come up with it. You just need to speak up.
Right.
Okay. You just need to communicate. So we listen. I ensure we listen actively and give feedback. Constructive feedback. All right, we do constructive feedback, sharing our own. I also sometimes share my own failures too.
All right.
My own errors. I tell them, I've been there before. Look, I didn't know how to do this before. I had to ask my boss to tell me what to do. So sometimes we need guidance. I make them understand that sometimes even the boss also need a little bit of guidance to ensure that everything works smoothly. So psychological safety is very paramount for this.
Right. Thank you very much. So the next question will be, how do you adjust your leadership approach when managing different personalities within a team?
Okay, like you said, different personalities, right? Which means every team member brings a unique strength and personality to the table. So I try to understand this difference. Yes, not two team members are the same.
Right.
You are unique in your own way. The other team member is unique in their own way. You are strong in this part. The other team member is strong in this part. So by the time we bring them together, it becomes a force to reckon with. Right? So I tend to understand these differences through one-on-one conversation. When you discuss, you dialogue with your team members. By the time you hear them speak, especially when they understand that they are safe with you. It's okay for them to be vulnerable at times. Then they can tell you, this is what I can handle. And when you understand that this person is good at this part, this person is good at this part, delegation becomes easy for you. Of course, the goal is to create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and empowered, irrespective of your strength and your personality. So let them bring their unique strengths and personality to the table. Talk one-on-one with them. Then you know who fits in which particular project, or who handles this task and who handles this task. Remember, it's a project. One person cannot finish it. One person cannot handle it all, right? So split the task. Delegation becomes easy that way.
Right. Thank you. Sounds interesting.
I hope I'm making sense to you, Linda.
You are perfectly, and I'm learning a lot from you. Thank you very much. So the next question we have is, can you share an example of how you've navigated a situation where a team member was disengaged or unmotivated? How do you bring them back?
Okay. In a past project, in past projects and even past roles, I noticed one team member was completely disengaged, consistently missing deadlines, not participating in discussions, and most of the times, even private meetings, most of the times, even private meetings, the team member wouldn't turn up. So I scheduled a one-on-one talk. Fortunately, the team member showed up, and then trying to understand their perspective, I figured out she felt overwhelmed and undervalued. Okay. This wasn't directly my team. Okay, it was one particular team that I was supervising the team, the particular project I was supervising. So this particular team member felt overwhelmed and undervalued. At the same time, we had to restructure their workload to ensure that it was manageable and discuss assigning a role that better suits or better aligns with her strength. Like I mentioned earlier, the previous question, you need to understand that this different individual that brings different, with unique abilities and strengths and personality. So possibly the team leader then didn't understand her strengths should align with a particular purpose in the team. So this particular team member felt that way. But then the proactive approach renewed her motivation, and she began to engage with the team, and she flourished.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for that. So I'm about rounding up now. We have a few more to go. So in your experience, what form of acknowledgement or feedback seems to resonate most with the team member?
Okay, on that, I would say maintaining motivation post-project can be challenging, right? Maintaining those can be very challenging, but regularly scheduling team retrospectives can be beneficial.
Okay, so do you share like feedback?
So when you reflect, when you reflect on their previous achievements and the process of learning, you celebrate their milestones that come from those projects, regardless of how the size of the project, regardless, right? Give compliments, rekindle their enthusiasm, ensure that they feel encouraged as team members, and ensure that without them, the team wouldn't have moved or the project wouldn't have been a success. Each of their contribution mattered and their value, and you also care about their personal growth.
Thank you.
All right? The personal growth is a goal also. So keep the momentum with them and engage alive as strong as the transition proceeds into new initiatives.
Interesting. Thank you. I have just 2 more to go. I just want to ask you this question. How do you align team objective with individual team member personal or professional goals?
Okay. Personalized feedback. So I'll say personalized feedbacks resonates very well with team members, not coming to give a general feedback. One-on-one feedback to each, tailored according to each team member's ability, the project, and everything. And it also demonstrates that I value that individual effort. Right? I've seen your work, Linda. For example, I come to you, Linda. I've seen your work. I've seen your effort. I've seen everything you're doing. You're doing well. It's working. Acknowledge the fact that you are going through a lot of it, but you have thoughtful notes. I just slip in. Oh, Linda, hey, good job. Keep going. It's little gestures goes a long way. Linda, good job. Good job. Keep going. Even in meetings, sometimes I tend to, like during a meeting, hey, Maxwell, your job is going well. Thank you. We're proceeding. It's moving. I see the pace that we're going, the pace at which it's going, we might complete this project before the schedule. Just chip in some recognition like that. It works. It boosts. Yeah, it motivates them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elizabeth. So this is going to be the last question I'm going to be asking. What do you believe help teams stay motivated and engage over time? I know you've said a couple of these. You've actually responded to this question, but it's just on the list and I just have to say it. So especially after completing a major project, how do you ensure that they stay motivated? You take them out for like a dinner? What do you do? How do you ensure that the team feel valued and motivated?
Okay. Most times I would say effective collaboration, especially after the open communication. We share goals. Okay, what are your goals in life? What do you intend to do? Then we invest time in team building. Really, team building activities. It tends to establish rich interpersonal relationship among team members, right? It also helps break down barrier and foster collaboration, whereby for example, I made reference to one of our staff, a team member in a particular project that felt undervalued.
Right.
So at the end of the project, we had a team building activity, and it actually helped her and also helped the team leader to understand this is where this particular team member is good at. This is her strength. This is where her personality suits, so that you don't end up giving the wrong task to the wrong team member, right? If you give a team member the task that doesn't suit their strength, of course, the team will lag behind. So what we do mostly is team building activities.
Right.
Whereby we build a team, we do collaboration. Moreover, clear roles and responsibility also help streamline efforts and ensure that everyone is aligned according to what it is. Yeah, like you rightfully mentioned, sometimes also dinner, whereby we discuss just anything to bring the team together works perfectly.
Oh, Dr. Elizabeth, I'm sure your team is proud to have you. And thank you very much for sharing all these feedbacks, all of this, taking so much of your time to attend to this interview. I and my team, we're really grateful and thank you so much. Thank you very much. Do have a great week ahead. Do you have a question you want to ask me?
Oh, yeah. I would just say, I hope I answered your questions.
You did perfectly well.
Right.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. And do have a great week ahead. I do appreciate your time.
Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.